No matter where you go, no matter who you talk to, sugar is the destroyer of teeth you'll hear. So you'll hear that out there. Sugar is. And it makes people shy away from fruit. It makes them shy away from bananas, mangoes, papayas, cherries, berries, apples. It makes them afraid to eat the foods that actually help our teeth. And that's what happens out there because we think we lump all sugar as the same. That's what professionals do out there. And that's what health advocates do, professionals, whatever. They lump sugar all together and then they're afraid of having a piece of fruit. You can baby step to take care of yourself and your health. You know, some people do lemon water, celery juice. Some people do the 369 advanced cleanse. Some people do the mono cleanse. Some people do protocols for their autoimmune, and every bit counts. You know, you got to customize too. But the key is, right? The key is to make sure that you don't fall into fruit fear, because the fruit fear will get everybody every time. And I'll tell you why. What happens is that when we get fruit fear, we then get afraid of the things we need. And that's how it always works. And we end up eating chocolate once again. We end up eating all the chocolate. That's the thing we do. So we go for that because we're not getting our fruit sugar. We're not getting our glucose, right? So when it comes down to fruit, you're getting your minerals, your trace minerals to help restore your teeth. Fruit is alkaline. Remember that. Alkaline is the way to go. It's not about sugar. Sugar isn't why people have teeth problems, okay? We'll cover that in another minute. So it's about being alkaline internally, but we can't be alkaline when we're eating everything that's not alkaline. And, you know, people say, well, no, that's not true. You know, I eat really good, and, you know, I eat lean protein, I'm keto, or I'm vegan and I'm keto, and I eat beans and I eat nut butters and all that's acidic. So we actually eat acidic foods. That's all we do. So we eat lots of acidic foods. They don't digest well. They don't break down well in the stomach. That's what happens. You know, they don't break well in the stomach. It's about what's happening inside the body, right? Inside your stomach, your intestinal tract, your gut, your liver. It's about what's happening here that protects here. That's the key. What happens in here protects here, right? That's how it works. So we protect our teeth by what we're doing inside here, okay? So people walk around with stomachs that aren't working good, low hydrochloric acid. They don't break down their proteins. They rot. Ammonia happens. Ammonia creeps up into the mouth when you're sleeping at night. So let's cover ammonia for a couple of minutes. So here's what happens, right? We're really acidic. More than that, our HCl doesn't work. More than that, our bile reserves are low. We don't break down our proteins. We don't break down our food, right? Our fats and protein. It goes rancid, and then we go to bed. We lay in bed, and ammonia from the gut creeps up like the ghost in the night. Creeps up the esophagus, right? Goes into the mouth, and it sits into the mouth while you're sleeping. When that ammonia sits in the mouth while you're sleeping, it goes into the gums and teeth. It has an ability to basically travel through bone. That's what ammonia does. Travels through bone, which is your teeth, and it weakens them. And people end up having weakened teeth along the way. And your proteins and your fats aren't digesting well, because it's not digesting well for virtually almost everybody. All that gas build up in the gut, right? That putrefaction, that rancid fat builds up. All that ammonia gets produced from it putrefying, travels up the esophagus, sits in your mouth at night when you're sleeping, and starts to break down the teeth. This process can break people's teeth down real fast, real quick. And then things can start falling apart from there, right? Back to the whole sugar thing, right? Sugar isn't the problem. It's the other stuff sugar is with. So it's the other things, like I was showing you guys earlier, okay? This chocolate cake isn't all sugar, see? So when someone says, oh, I quit sugar, or I'm avoiding sugar, sugar's the problem, that's where it is. They're only benefiting not because they're avoiding sugar, they're benefiting because they're avoiding the lard and the butter and the dyes and the chemicals and the additives, right? And the hydrogenated oils. right? And you can even be doing a healthier piece of cake, but that could have vegetable oils in it. That can still have other things in it. And you might think butter's healthy and you just got butter in your cake. But either way, what happens is it's the fats, or you got eggs in your cake. Either way, it's the fats that actually cause the problem. It's not the sugar. And so what people don't realize, right? People will be like, well, don't have apple pie because all that sugar. They actually call this sugar. I see it for years. I've seen it for years. I see it now. People say, oh, you don't want a piece of pie, so much sugar. Yeah, they put a half a cup of sugar in a pie. They'll put a cup of sugar in a pie when they make one, but you wouldn't believe how much fat, lard, and butter is in the pie. That's where the culprit is. Now, people think ice cream is sugar. That's what they think. They're always like, yeah, too much sugar in that ice cream. You hear it all the time. That's the problem, right? That's not the problem. It's actually the fat in the ice cream, right? And the protein, the milk proteins, right? And the fat. They don't break down. They don't digest well. They rot in the stomach and your teeth go. That's how it works. Jill Anderson says, I recently heard an influencer talking about waiting to brush your teeth after you have a smoothie or after you eat fruit. Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense as far as for an influencer to say that. And that's misinformation. But exactly, that influencer thought fruit sugar was going to destroy your teeth. Now, think about that message, right? Now, if I was to hear that and I was somebody, a follower to this influencer, and I heard that and they were like, so yeah, what I like to do is after I have my smoothie, after I have my piece of fruit, here's a mango right here. After I have my piece of fruit, everybody, what I do is I brush my teeth afterwards, okay? So make sure fruit scares the shit out of all of you, because you know what? You're going to all lose your teeth. That's why I'm brushing my teeth after I have my fruit, you guys. So yeah, make sure I scare you to death about eating fruit. Oh, I'm having my fruit. I'm having my smoothie, but I got to brush my teeth after because you're going to lose your teeth. My dentist told me I'm going to lose all my teeth because after my fruit smoothie, I better brush my teeth. You have chocolate, you might want to brush your teeth after you had all that chocolate, right? So they're going to worry about fruit and fruit acids. Fruit acids are alkaline. Fruit acids don't hurt teeth. Fruit acids actually kill bad bacteria in your mouth. But they'll go and eat chocolate. They'll have a chocolate bar and not brush their teeth afterwards, right? That's the time, if you want to brush your teeth and you're worried about something, you brush them after coffee and chocolate. What people do is they eat all the fats and the additives and the chemicals with the sugar, and it's all that acidic fat and everything else. You can be a healthy vegan person, like you're into health and you're like, hey, I'm vegan, I'm into health, I'm doing my nut proteins, I'm doing keto vegan, I got no processed foods, and your teeth can still fall out. And guess what? The dentist would be like, it was because you're vegan. It wasn't because you're vegan. It's because everybody's focused on too many fats, too many proteins, and they have too many deficiencies, and they're not fixing them. And they're not getting those alkaline minerals in. They're not getting the celery juice in. They're not getting the heavy metal detox smoothie in. They're not getting the stuff in they need. They're not getting the chemicals and the metals and the pathogens out of their body. They could be a vegan dude, a vegan gal, whatever, and boom, they're sick. Now they're 32 years old and they're getting sick. Teeth are going bad. It's just people don't get it. Same thing with animal protein people. It's the same thing. I'm not taking sides. Dior says, dentist said that I had 2 cavities on my upper teeth. I told them to wait 2 months before I get the x-ray. For 2 months, every time I drank my celery juice, I held it in my mouth for a while, which is an incredible piece of information. we love that. When I got my x-ray, it didn't show the cavities he mentioned from 2 months ago. Oh my God. Now you see it, now you don't.